Well, let's get started today finding a comfortable seat here. So maybe you have a blanket, a pillow, or a block or something to sit up on to elevate the hips just a little bit higher than the knees. And so as you can see, I'm in a cross-legged position. You can also come onto the shins, placing that block or blanket between the ankles, whichever you prefer here. And so allowing us to settle into this space and this time we have dedicated here together, bringing our awareness to the body, bringing our awareness into the breath. Maybe it will help if you take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And the term that breath awareness is just to notice. No need to alter, no need to provide commentary around the expectations for how the breath moves within and moves the body itself. Being together here in our community time is something that we hopefully can find benefit in, can be fortunate to be surrounded by those that are coming together for common purpose. On your next inhale, imagine that breath flowing in through the nostrils, being sent down that central channel and expanding through the lungs, through the belly, through the chest. And then on the exhale, following that same channel up and outwards, taking with it those things we no longer need. Inhale, we stack the spine, grow a little taller. Exhale, keeping that height, but finding that solidity, that groundedness within the buttocks, within the feet, within the outer thighs. Inhale, expanding the chest once again, growing taller, lengthening through the spine. Exhale as you firm down, rooting yourself. Twice more like that at the rate that is within your body today. On the next inhale, allowing the chin to rise parallel to the earth, opening the eyes if they had been closed, bringing the palms together, rubbing them, creating a little bit of heat between the palms, and then placing the palms over the eyes, allowing that warmth to permeate through the eye sockets. Taking a round of breath here. And then bringing the hands together, the thumb knuckles resting between the eyebrows. And then if you would like to join me on the inhale for Om, let's inhale together. Om. Gently opening the eyes, interlacing the fingers, except leaving the pointer fingers apart. Opening, expanding the arms upward, gazing upwards, and then releasing the hands, rolling the wrists out as you bring them alongside the body. Fingertips planting down into the earth, Once again, inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhale as you bring the hands together at heart center. Coming like that again. Inhale, the hands come together, up and gaze follows. Exhale, rolling the wrist out as we open to the side. This time, planting the fingers on the inhale. Exhale, rooting down through the buttocks. Inhale, this time the right hand comes up overhead, the gaze follows. Exhale, the left hand inches out to the side, and the right hand follows over. Creating, if it feels okay, that breath and movement connection, arms reaching up and over, and then coming back down towards the side. Gaze can be down at that left hand, or if it feels nice to keep open, the gaze and the chest can look up towards the sky. All of this movement is hinged on the fact that we are nice and solid underneath. We are rooted from our base to allow this growth, this space to be created. And then let's all keep that hand up and over the ear, gazing down at that left hand, and then pressing into the left hand comes up overhead, interlacing the fingers, all of them this time, flipping the palms upside down, allowing that space also to be created within the shoulders. So shoulders are rising up towards the ears. Maybe you add in some side to side productive wiggles here. Just starting to warm up, maybe feeling out how the body feels today, and then flipping the palms upside or more right side up, interlacing all the fingers except for the pointers, reaching high, gazing up. Exhale as we roll the wrist out, bringing the hands to the side, fingers plant down, standing tall. On the inhale this time, the left hand comes overhead, the right fingers reach out, and we stretch out towards the right side. Once again, if that connection between breath and movement feels right in the body, go ahead and give that nice bit of movement the space that it needs. One more round like this, and then inhale, keeping that left hand out over the ears, gazing down at the right fingers, and then straightening that right arm, bringing the right hand up overhead, keeping them apart this time. And then turning the palms to face me, high, and hinging at the hips as we fold forward with a flat back. Allowing the palms to make contact on the earth, and then slowly hinging down, forearms and elbows making contact with the earth as well. In a modified either Sukhasana, cross-legged child's pose, or that more traditional child's pose staying upright. Gazing out, keeping that space between the chin and the chest, looking forward, and breathing here. Pressing down into all 10 fingers, stretching out, creating space. And then imagining as if you're pulling that earth towards you. One day, maybe you drag the elbows to reach the knees as you open through the chest here. And then just dropping the chin slightly so that you can imagine that lengthening taking place along the back side of the neck. And then taking another 2 rounds of breath here. Grounding down throughout the hips as you're pulling the fingertips, the elbows towards the knees. Once more like that. Inhale, lengthening through the back of the neck. Exhale as we sink down into the hips. And then on the inhale, slowly releasing the elbows, forearms off the mat, walking the hands back. If you have yourself in that Sukhasana position, cross-legged, go ahead and switch the crossing of your legs. And then on the inhale, the arms come up overhead. On the exhale, taking that left hand, crossing it to the outer right knee, taking our twist here. A nice simple twist, Staying grounded throughout that left thigh, that left hip as well. And then just taking this nice simple twist to begin our class. On the inhale, always imagining that lengthening upwards through the spine. And on the exhale, you might play around with where it feels right with the amount of twist that you're taking. Being sure that the breath remains in movement despite the body being stagnant in our posture. And then on the next inhale, left hand reaches up, rainbows up, and then makes contact back behind. Now we have both hands back behind, that chest and the chin are lifted. On the next inhale, bringing the hands up and around, reaching forward, coming into our cat-cow movement. Having a nice tucking of the chin. Maybe the hands are on the knees, maybe they're out in front. And the C shape is taking place throughout the back of the body. Inhale, bringing the hands up, circling them around, once again making contact behind, and then allowing those productive wiggles once again to find themselves in the body. Maybe a shoulder comes forward, maybe you add a little bit of a shoulder roll here. Inhaling, opening the chest and the chin to the sky. And then releasing the hands back around, circling them up and rounding, tucking the chin. And then once again, finding that wiggle, creating that space in the back side of the body. And then this time around, maybe you take the hands out to the knees and you dip one shoulder down. Maybe you dip the other shoulder down. Connecting breath into this nice, steady, slow warm up. And then on the inhale, bringing the hands up and around, taking them to the back. And then just stacking the spine, releasing that arch within the back side of the body. Inhale, the hands come up overhead. This time, right hand comes out to the left knee, taking the twist to the opposite side. Noticing that one side might have a little bit more or a little bit less range of motion. Could be nothing more than you slept funny. Investigating the depth of the stretch on this side, sending breath into each posture, giving it the space that that breath creates. And then on the inhale, that right hand this time comes up rainbows and then allows itself to stack onto the sides of the hips. If you have a block or something that you're sitting up on, go ahead and move it out of the way. We're going to come on to all fours here for our tabletop position. So repositioning yourself here, if you have sensitive knees, you might want to grab a blanket. And then finding that same space that we created between the fingers, pressing down into the earth, and then allowing the hips to come side to side. We were sitting up on them. And then those side to side movements might expand out to circles. Those circles of the hips might even come forward and you rock in and around the wrists. Maybe you find a spot that you could hang out in a little bit longer because it feels good, it feels juicy, it needs that attention. Or you might switch the direction of your circles. When it suits you, let's meet back in that tabletop flat back position. On the inhale, stepping that left foot back, rocking forward and back here, starting to warm up the back side of that left leg. And then flipping that right wrist upside down so that palm face is up, fingertips are facing the knees, and then also giving that right forearm a little bit of a stretch here. Flipping that wrist back to its more natural palms down position, and then pressing that left heel back down into the earth. On the inhale, shifting forward, coming to the tippy toes, and then on the exhale, lifting that leg to about hip height. On the inhale, bringing that knee into the chest, rounding the spine here. Exhale as you stretch it, heel leads back. Twice more. Inhale, pointing the toes, rounding through the spine. Exhale, flexing the foot, heel leads. Last time for this side, inhale, rounding through the spine, pointing the toe. Exhale, heel leads. And then planting that heel down, rocking onto the inner arch, and then reaching that left arm up and overhead. Finding this supported side plank, you might even reach that left hand up overhead, feeling that side body stretch. Taking 2 rounds of breath here. And then rocking back, connecting palm, connecting knee, meeting in that tabletop position. On the inhale, stepping that right foot back, rocking forward and back, getting those calves starting to fire, allowing that movement to come into the muscle. And then flipping that left wrist upside down, palm faces you and fingers face back, giving that left forearm its stretch as well. Nice and easy as we are connecting breath and movement for this afternoon. Flipping that left wrist to its more natural position, creating that space between the fingers, and then rocking back, imagining that right heel might someday reach the earth. Inhale as we lift that leg up, holding here, finding that balance, and then on the next inhale, pointing the toe, rounding as you bring the knee in towards the nose. Exhale as you press back, leading with the heel, flexing of the foot. Twice more, pointing the toes, bringing the knee into the chest, rounding. Exhale, toes down, heel leads. Once more like that. Inhale, knee in towards nose, holding here. Exhale as you extend back, lowering the toe down onto the earth, rocking so that the inner arch makes contact with the mat. And then inhale as you lift that right hand up overhead. Finding stability here by pressing into the pinky toe of that right leg and the top side of that left one. Maybe you allow that right arm to reach out up and over the ear. Once again, creating space throughout the side body. Another round of breath in this posture. And then lowering palm and knee down onto the earth. Tucking the toes, pressing the earth away as you hover the knees up off the mat. Engaging through the abs, the knees are just about 1 inch, 2 inches off the earth, and then lowering down, untucking the toe, sinking into that child's pose. A nice active child's pose here, and maybe you reach the fingertips forward with one hand, and then test out reaching the fingertips forward with the other hand. Taking notice here, once again, if you can someday allow the booty to rest on the heels, and then reaching the fingertips forward once again. On the next inhale, walking the fingers back towards the knees and slowly pressing into the earth as we come to our seated position. Inhale, bringing the hands up overhead. Exhale as we open to the side, leaning forward, hinging at the hips, the arms come back, imagining that we're nice and flat throughout the back. And then bringing the hands forward, once again, trying to keep the booty connected. It's a shift of the weight and you're really engaging your abs. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's very strong in through the core. You're holding your booty down and then releasing the hands onto the mat. Once again, creating that space with the fingers and allowing the forearms and the elbows to make contact here. Opening through the chest, gazing forward, taking a round of breath here. And then keeping the forearms on the mat, shifting the weight of the hips forward and stepping back left foot, stepping back right foot. We meet in our forearm plank, engaging through the booty, finding the strength in the abs, and then slowly walking the feet a little bit closer, coming into our dolphin plank. Pressing down into the heels here, squeezing through the arms, and then lowering onto the knees. Coming up through the arms, we meet once again in our tabletop position, shaking the booty side to side here. Stepping one foot back, stepping the other foot back, coming into our high plank. Engaging through the abs. And then slowly this time, shifting into our downward facing dog. Walking out, foot by foot, pulsing into the heels, pressing the earth away, maybe even shaking out through the hips. And then coming to a point of stillness, taking 3 rounds of breath here, settling into this space, creating that stability within the feet, within the hands. And then rocking forward, coming up onto the toes, shifting the weight, meeting in our high plank. Holding here, finding stability through the abs, pressing the earth away, and then shifting back again into our downward facing dog, pressing the earth away, taking another 2 rounds of breath here. Doing that once again, shifting forward onto the tippy toes, coming into our high plank, firm abs, and then shifting back, this time in our downward facing dog, just 1 round of breath. Nice job. Coming to the tiptoes, bending the knees, looking forward. Let's meet at the top of the mat in our forward fold. Inhale as we rise to our halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, bringing the hands together as we rise up, gaze up overhead. Exhale as we bring the hands through heart center, opening the palms to the front of the mat, standing well. Allowing the shoulders to rise up on the inhale. Exhale as we drop them down and back. Once more like that. Inhale, shoulders rise up. Exhale as we drop down and back. Inhale, bringing the hands together, the gaze follows up overhead, and exhale as we fold forward, coming into that forward fold. Inhale, rising to our halfway flat back. Exhale, planting the palms, stepping left foot, stepping right foot back. We are in our high plank once again. Lowering down knees, chest and chin, pressing forward into our low cobra. Engaging here, making sure the elbows are squeezed in nice and tight. And then exhale, lowering down. Inhale, planting the palms, tucking the toes, lifting into our high plank once again. Shifting back as we make our way through our downward facing dog, taking 3 rounds of breath here. After your 3rd round of breath, rocking forward to your tippy toes, coming to that high plank, holding here, and then shifting back to our downward facing dog, taking 2 rounds of breath here. Shifting forward, once again, coming to our high plank, finding that stability throughout the hands, shifting back to our downward facing dog, taking 1 round of breath here. Bending through the knees, coming to the tiptoes, making your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale as we rise to our halfway flat back. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, hands come together as we rise up, gaze up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, opening the palms to the front, standing well. Taking 2 rounds of breath here, inhaling the shoulders to come up to the ears, dropping them down and back. Once more, inhaling, shoulders rise. Exhale, standing well. Inhale, hands come together, gaze follows up. Exhale as we hinge forward, planting the palms. Inhale, rising, hands on shins halfway left. Exhale, palms follow, stepping one foot, stepping the other foot back. Maybe you go shift forward to our chaturanga, lowering down, or chin, chest, and knees, or exhaling to a low cobra, or making your way into an upward facing dog. Flipping the feet, let's all meet in our downward facing dog. Taking a round of breath here. On the next inhale, bringing that left foot, sending it nice and high, pointing the toes as they lift up. And then inhale as you bring that left knee into the chest and you rock forward. Exhale, lifting that left toe up, stretching it to the sky. Inhale as you rock forward, knee in towards nose. Once more, stretching that left leg up, this time opening through the hip. And that means imagining that that left heel might kick the booty someday. Maybe you create some circles here with the knee opening throughout this hip. And then let's all point that left toe back. And then inhale, shifting forward, knee in towards nose, and then planting that left foot. We meet in our low lunge. Finding the stability here. Inhale as we rise up to our high lunge. Hands can be out at field goals. Hands can be back behind if that feels good for you today, or hands can remain up overhead. Remaining committed to this nice, strong, stable base, and imagining that someone could come and actually stand right here on your front leg. Inhale as we open to our warrior two, that back right foot goes parallel to the mat. Staying committed to this strong lunge of that front left leg. And then inhale as we tip that left arm up. Breathing here. Inhale as we come back through our warrior two arms, bending through this front left hand and allowing that left elbow to make contact on the left knee, right arm overhead. If you'd like a little bit more challenge, you can reach that left hand down to the ankle. Maybe you allow it to make contact with the ground. You can also challenge yourself with a half bind or reach that left hand in and around for a full bind. Any and all are there for your options. And then independent of where your arms are, let's all meet elbow on knee. And then bringing that right arm up over the ears. And then turning the hips to face down on the ground, reaching both hands forward. And then slowly releasing the palms to the earth, sending that left foot back, meeting once again in our downward facing dog, or dropping to your knees for a child's pose. Taking a round of breath here. If you are in the child's pose, press back up. We will all meet in our downward facing dog. On the next inhale, this time sending that right leg up, pointing the toe. And then inhale as you bring that knee in towards the nose, rocking forward. Exhale as we send that right leg up. Inhale as the knee comes into the nose, we rock forward. Once more like that. Inhale, extending that right leg up, and then opening the hip. Imagining that that left heel is going to kick yourself in the booty. Pressing into the hands. And then maybe you create some circles here, opening throughout the hip using the knee. Maybe you experiment and take those circles in the opposite direction. And then let's all meet, pointing that right toe up and back. Inhale as we rock forward, knee in towards nose, looking down and planting that right foot between the hands, meeting in our low lunge. Inhale as we rise up into our high lunge, holding here, finding that stability, grounding down, and then opening into our warrior two. Nice and strong, this back left leg is grounded throughout the pinky toe edge. And then inhale, right hand lifts up, reverse warrior. Inhale as we move through and back to our warrior two, and then bending through that front elbow, tipping forward. Right elbow on right knee, left hand up overhead. And then options, you can reach that right hand down to the earth. You can come into a half bind with that left arm, or you can reach in and around for a full bind with both hands. Selecting the choice that works for you and your body today. Making sure it's a place where you can allow the breath to still flow. And then let's all meet, elbows on knee. Inhaling, that left hand reaches forward, turning that left hip down onto the earth, reaching both of the arms forward, and then planting them down, sending that right foot back, meeting in our downward facing dog, dropping to the knees, coming into our child's pose. Taking a couple rounds of breath here. Maybe you even release the hands back behind the body, palms facing up. Allowing that breath to flow. If you're in the downward facing dog, let's all come down into our child's pose. Forehead on the earth, hands back beside the feet. Both palms of the feet and the hands are facing up. And then interlacing, grabbing onto the heels here, tucking the chin a good bit, imagining as if the forehead will meet the knees. And then on the inhale, lifting the hips up off of the heels, remaining in contact with hands on heels. And then breathing into this posture that creates space throughout the shoulders and the backside of the body. Making sure to not put too much weight into the top of the head by really grabbing onto the ankles, creating that leverage. And then lowering the hips back down onto the heels, allowing the palms of the hands to open wide, and envisioning that openness being created throughout the top part of the shoulders and the back. We'll do that posture once again. So grabbing onto the heels, tucking the chin, and then on the inhale, lifting the hips up off the heels. Taking note that there is compression throughout the chin. If it's hard to breathe, lower the hips down just a little bit. But sending breath both into the back side of the shoulders and also into the lower part of the spine. And then slowly releasing, hips meet down on the heels. And then this time bringing the hands out in front into a more traditional child's pose. Knees come wide. And then sinking down, imagining that the chest might someday reach the earth. Forearms, hands, and palms are spread out wide. Breathing here. And then slowly lifting through the chest, but keeping the forearms and elbows on the mat. And then lifting through the hips, shifting them forward, stepping one foot back, stepping the other foot. We meet once again in our forearm plank. We have done this already once today, so let's test ourselves. Hinging, seeing if we can inch the feet a little bit closer, pressing down into the forearms, and then lowering the knees down, untucking, and slowly sitting back up into our Virasana pose. Choosing a side, allowing yourself to scoot out from underneath your feet, bringing the legs out in front and giving them a bit of a bounce here. I'm going to get something to sit up on, a little bit tight today throughout my lower back. So if that's the case for you, I encourage you to do the same. I will also keep a nice bend in my knees because of the tension in my lower back. Inhaling as you bring your hands and gaze up overhead. Exhale as you hinge forward, keeping that nice flat back, and then releasing the palms down wherever they meet the earth. Keeping that openness throughout the chest here, gazing through the feet, and then breathing. Maybe the hands come to the calf, maybe they come to the ankles, and maybe then you can inch one heel forward, maybe the other heel forward, someday reaching the feet. And then taking a slight tucking of the chin to lengthen throughout the back of the neck here. Feeling the earth as it makes contact with the backside of the legs, the backside of the calf, the heels here. And then on the next inhale, bringing the hands back towards the hips, stacking the spine to lengthen upwards. Inhale, bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide, and then grabbing the outer pinky part of the feet. On your next round of inhale, lengthening through the spine. On the exhale, taking that same hinge forward at the hips, and maybe the elbows someday meet the outer shin part of the legs. Keeping that openness through the chest, through the chin, and that gaze is out in front of your practice space. Once again, making sure the breath remains flowing despite the fact that we are holding the pose. Tucking the chin, but not rounding through the spine to create that length throughout the cervical, that very top part of the spine within the neck. Sending breath into the outer thighs, into the groin area, wherever the stretch is felt in your body. And then on the next inhale, releasing, straightening through the arms, stacking the spine once again. Inhaling, bringing the knees together. Exhale that left leg out in front, keeping that right knee in towards that sacred space. Inhaling, allowing that right hand to reach up, turning, reaching that right hand back behind the body, and then grabbing that right knee, hugging it in with the left arm. Taking this twist here out to the right side of the body. Pressing down into that back right arm to grow the spine tall. And then on the exhale, twisting with the chest, leading with the heart, and not straining through the neck. Being sure that that left leg is working, is stabilizing, it's not just hanging out, so flexing and pressing through the heel of that left leg. And then on the next inhale, releasing, coming through center, and then exhaling, taking our counter twist out to the left side. Inhale, coming back to center, switching the legs, right goes out forward, left comes in. And then on the inhale here, left hand comes up overhead, reaches back and around behind, while the right arm swoops around, hugs that left knee in towards your chest. Opening throughout the left side, this time pressing that left arm back into the earth as the spine grows tall, and then hugging in as you exhale, leading with the chest, the heart. Flexing through that straight right leg and leading with the heel here. Taking another round of breath. And then on the inhale, releasing that left arm, coming back through center, and then unraveling, taking our counter twist back out to the right side. Inhale as we come through center, both legs are stretching out in front, giving them a little bit of a bounce. Taking another forward fold here. So inhaling the hands up overhead, exhale as we hinge forward, reaching forward, and then planting the hands down, keeping that openness throughout the chest and the chin. That same movement that we found grounding down throughout the elbow and the forearm can take place here, and that creates that openness through the chest. Maybe you close your eyes, tucking the chin just a little bit here to prevent that rounding throughout the spine. And then on the next inhale, you might open the eyes, slowly walk the hands back towards the hips. And if you're sitting up on anything or have anything underneath your knees, go ahead and move that off of your practice space. Coming down onto the back, keeping the knees up in the air so that the feet are planted, grounded on the earth below. Taking a round or two of breath here as we resituate and find that solidity that the earth provides below. Imagining what that print on your back looks like on the earth. Taking note of the space between the lower back. Pressing into the heels to imagine that that space gets eliminated. And then releasing, tilting the hips forward a little bit, creating that space, that little bit of a bridge in between the lower back and the mat. And then once again, pressing down into the heels, rocking the hips upward, and then planting that space, eliminating that space in the lower part of the spine. Releasing, coming into a neutral position, whatever that means for you, shaking out through the hips here. Just rocking side to side. And then on the inhale, bringing the knees in towards the chest, continuing that rocking side to side, just working to move the position of this bit of self-massage that's taking place. And then planting that left foot down onto the earth, keeping the right knee in towards the chest, extending that right leg up towards straight, and then crossing that right ankle out over the left knee. We're coming into our reclined figure 4. Grounding down through that left heel of the hand, and then creating that boundary with that right arm. Options here for you can be to remain in this position. If you'd like a little bit extra stretch throughout the right hip, you can reach the hands in between that figure 4. Maybe you grasp onto the outer part of the shins, maybe behind that left leg. Maybe you extend that left leg overhead. If on any of these options you find yourself coming up off the mat with the top part of the body, take it a step back. Releasing yourself because you want to find that stability throughout the top part of the body, remaining connected on the earth with the shoulder blades. Breathing in here. And then independent of what position you have chose for yourself, let's all meet in that starting figure 4 position, left foot on the mat, right ankle crossed over. And then on your next inhale, bringing that right knee into the chest, exhaling as you straighten through that right leg, point the toes and allow the hands to come up overhead. Creating that little bit of an arch, that bridge once again underneath the lower part of the spine. And then releasing the hands, planting both feet onto the earth. On the inhale, this time sending that left leg up overhead, straightening as best you can, and exhaling, crossing that left ankle out over the right knee. Once again, all of those options are here for you to experiment with. You can reach the hands through, grabbing to the outer shin or underneath the leg. Maybe that right leg extends up. I don't have as much range of motion on this side, so I'm going to remain nice and sturdy in this reclined figure 4. Breathing into this posture. Once again, noting the stability that you can create for yourself, the back side of the body, feeling the support of the earth below. Taking another round of breath in whatever variation you've chosen. And then let's all meet in that traditional reclined figure 4. Right foot is down on the earth. And then on the next inhale, bringing that left knee into the chest. Exhaling as you straighten through that left leg, pointing the toe, bringing both arms up overhead, creating that arch throughout the lower back. And then inhale, the hands back down by the hips and both feet come onto the earth, knees into the air. Inhale as you bring the knees into the chest, rocking side to side, or maybe creating those circles on the ceiling, allowing the knees to take one direction. Eventually, the knees take the other direction. And then let's all meet, knees in towards chest through the center of the spine, taking 2 rounds of breath here. Maybe the booty has come up off of the mat because you're hugging your knees in so much, pressing the spine down into the earth. And then on this next inhale, releasing out through the exhale. Once more like that, inhaling here. On the exhale, taking the knees out to the left side, creating a nice cross body stretch here. Right side of the body is open towards the sky, finding that stability throughout the right shoulder as it makes contact with the earth. And if in the process of that right shoulder making contact, that right knee lifts up, go ahead and place a prop. Maybe it's just your fist in between the knees to provide a little bit of support there so it's just not hanging out in the air. Maybe the eyes close as we breathe into this side body stretch. Inhale, feeling the breath as it comes in through the right pinky, expands out and around through the elbow, the armpit, sweeps down and around that right hip. And on the exhale, imagine it leaving out through the bottom of the right foot. Taking a couple more rounds of breath here. On the next inhale, if you have a prop or your fist in between your knees, go ahead and release that. And then allow the knees to come back into center, hugging them in nice and tight like we did before, taking a round of breath with the knees in here. Exhaling it out. And then on this inhale, prepare for the exhale, taking the knees out to the right, finding that grounding, that connection of the left shoulder blade on the earth. And then maybe you support yourself by inserting your hand, that fist, or a blanket in between the knees. Maybe the eyes close as you breathe yourself into this side body, cross body stretch. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. On this next inhale, if you have a prop or that fist in between the knees, go ahead and release it. And then allowing both the knees come back into center. Hugging them in nice and close for another round of breath. Maybe rocking side to side even if that bit of lower back massage feels nice. And then when it feels right for you, releasing the legs out, coming into our Shavasana, preparing for our Yoga Nidra. Hands can be resting out beside the hips, palms can be facing up, or palms can be facing down. If there's even a slight chill in your body, you might go ahead and grab a blanket or place a small pillow underneath your neck, underneath the back of your head. Go ahead and take this time to come into that comfortable position. And then releasing any intention that you had for this practice, any breath pattern you might have instilled on yourself. And to kind of break the space and reset any expectation, let's take 2 inhales and exhales here together. Inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, exhaling it out. Once more like that, inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, exhaling it out. And settling into this space, into this time we have here together. Eyes can remain calm, eyes can remain closed as we move into our Yoga Nidra practice. Or if you prefer, you can have a slight gaze coming out through the eyelashes. Bringing your awareness back into the breath like we started the practice today. Just taking notice as to how the breath fills the body. And notice how it releases out from within. Bringing your attention and that breath awareness into the space within the chest, near the heart, and noticing how the breath creates movement and space within that part of the body. Bringing awareness to this universal me spot, this space within the chest near the heart. And setting for yourself an expectation for this yoga nidra, setting an intention for our time here together. Maybe this intention actually goes beyond our nidra practice. Maybe it goes into the week ahead. Maybe that intention could be, I am happy, I am at peace, I am aware. Echoing that chosen intention to yourself 3 times. Breathing into that intention, placing it right within that space behind the heart, tucking it into yourself, into your being. And then bringing your attention and sending your breath into the right hand, the right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and fifth finger. Releasing and relaxing throughout your entire right hand. And then sending breath and awareness into your right wrist. Releasing and relaxing through your right wrist. Sending breath and your awareness into your right elbow. Releasing and relaxing your right elbow. Sending breath and your awareness into your right shoulder. Releasing and relaxing through your right shoulder. Sending breath and ease into the entire right arm. Releasing and relaxing your right arm. Sending breath and awareness into your left hand, your left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and fifth finger. Releasing and relaxing your entire left hand. Sending breath and awareness into your left wrist. Releasing and relaxing your left wrist. Sending breath and your awareness into your left elbow. Releasing and relaxing through your left elbow. Sending breath and your awareness into your left shoulder. Releasing and relaxing through your left shoulder. Sending breath and sending ease into your entire left arm. releasing and relaxing through your left arm. Sending breath and ease into both of the arms, releasing and relaxing through both of your arms. Sending breath and your awareness into the right foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Releasing and relaxing through your entire left foot. Sending breath and awareness into your right ankle. Releasing and relaxing through the right ankle. Sending breath and awareness into your right knee. Releasing and relaxing through the right knee. Sending breath and your awareness into your right hip. Releasing and relaxing throughout the right hip. And then sending breath and ease into your entire right leg. Releasing and relaxing through the right leg. Sending breath and your awareness into your left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Releasing and relaxing through your entire left foot. Sending breath and your attention into your left ankle. Releasing and relaxing through the left ankle. Sending your breath and awareness into your left knee. Releasing and relaxing throughout the left knee. Sending your breath and awareness into your left hip. Releasing and relaxing through your left hip. Sending breath and ease into the entire left leg. Releasing and relaxing throughout your left leg. Sending breath and ease into the entire lower body. Releasing and relaxing throughout your entire lower body. Sending breath and awareness into the lower back. Releasing and relaxing throughout your lower back. Sending breath and bringing your awareness to your belly. Releasing and relaxing throughout your belly. Sending breath and bringing your awareness into your shoulders. Releasing and relaxing throughout the shoulders. Let's do that once again. Sending breath and awareness into your shoulders. releasing and relaxing throughout the shoulders. Sending breath and your awareness into your neck. Releasing and relaxing throughout the neck. Sending your breath and giving attention into your jaw. Releasing and relaxing throughout the jaw. Sending breath and bringing your awareness into the forehead. Releasing and relaxing throughout the forehead. And then sending breath and intention into the top of the head. Releasing and relaxing throughout the top of the head. Sending breath and bringing your awareness, bringing that intention throughout your entire body. Relaxing and releasing throughout the entire body. Resting here. Bringing your awareness back into this room, back into the space and time that we have carved out for each other, that you have carved out for yourself. And then bringing that breath, bringing that awareness back into the chest, into that space near the heart. And then recalling that intention that you set for this yoga nidra, that you maybe set for some bit of time into the future. And once again, reminding yourself, saying it to yourself 3 times. And then slowly starting to send a bit of movement, those productive wiggles in through the fingers, in through the toes, rolling out through the wrists and through the ankles. Maybe you reach the hands up over the head, pointing throughout the toes, imagining if it's the first stretch of the day. And then choosing a side to roll onto, coming into that fetal position, and taking a round of breath here. And then when it feels right, pressing down into that top hand to slowly, carefully, cautiously allow yourself to rise back up, stacking the spine, and we'll meet in whatever your comfortable position looks like today. Eyes can remain closed or at a soft gaze, whichever feels safe for you. Spine is nice and stacked. And then bringing the hands together at heart center. Once again, becoming aware of the breath, aware of the space and the movement that it creates within the body. And if you would like to join me on an inhale for Om, let's inhale together. Om. Bringing the thumb knuckles up to the space between the brows, offering yourself a little massage here if that feels right. And maybe leaning forward, sealing our time here together. Thanking yourself for making the time and the space within your day, within your body. And then inhaling as you slowly stack the spine to the upright position, opening the palms up so that the palms are across the eyes, imagining the hands are books. Slowly allowing the eyes to flitter open and the fingers to widen as the light comes back into your space. And allowing me to thank you for spending a part of your afternoon together. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Thank you.